I'm Erika of Erika a la Mode, and I am delighted to be one of the judges for this year's competition. I was just so impressed with all of the wonderful projects that we saw this year, and I'm so happy to present the prize winners for the beginner category. In third place, we have the Medieval Fae Vampire by Samantha Salveson, a magical and creative representation of the stories from our imagination. The costume is decorated with upcycled jewelry and flowers to show Samantha's two moods, the queenly vampire and the playful fae. Samantha says, "I decided that I wanted to create something to show who I am. I am frequently creating characters in my imagination, so my piece is a collaboration of a vampire and fairy. All of us need a world to escape to, or a character to be when we aren't strong, something to get us through life. The best advice I can give is to jump off the deep end and enter in once and test to see if you like it." Congratulations, Samantha. Your whimsical design and creativity were just such a joy to see. In second place, we have Heritage Rose by Ginny Allen, a gorgeous set of 1893 foundation garments inspired by a photograph of Ginny's great-great-grandmother. The design references extant garments from the Met Museum and includes little bits of family history to personalize the garments in such a wonderful way. Ginny says, "I decided to push myself this year and enter 3 entirely hand-sewn garments. I've already made improvements in my technique just from participating. After 6 yards of hand stitching on the bustle alone, my stitch quality has noticeably improved. I'm very proud of myself for actually completing all 3 garments in time and not talking myself out of entering." Congratulations, Ginny. We are so proud of you too, both for your incredible costume pieces and for your bravery in jumping into the competition and not talking yourself out of it. And in first place, we have Perfect Landing by Courtney Chu, a beautiful robe à l'anglaise based on the iconic TARDIS from Doctor Who. Courtney was inspired by the time travel we experience as historical sewists, and the wonderful ways that studying historical dress can introduce us to new worlds and knowledge. Courtney says, "Stepping through a threshold has always felt a little like magic to me, like a portal to a new place with its own culture and delights. As a time traveler through textiles, I felt it was most appropriate to express this by making this robe à l'anglaise into a TARDIS dress. Every year, I find myself eager to try out a new skill or practice an existing one on my next entry for this competition. I feel so accomplished every time I'm able to submit an entry, and the comments both commending my hard work and offering advice on parts I stumbled on are incredibly helpful in their own ways." Congratulations, Courtney. It was such a joy to time travel into history and the world of Doctor Who with you through this beautiful gown. Congratulations to all our winners in the beginner category. Your work has been incredible to see, and we are excited to watch you grow in the sewing community. You can view all of the fantastic entries in the beginner category at the link below.
Hi everyone, I'm Emilee, also known as our Shield Maiden on social media, and I'm so excited as one of the judges for the 2024 Foundations Revealed competition to be announcing the Apprentice Category winners. Alright, so starting off in third place, we're going to be celebrating with the Crawling Chaos Nyarlathotep, and we could not be more excited about giving this prize to them. We really love the craftsmanship as well as the creativity that went into this piece, and we could not be happier to celebrate with you. In second place, we have Captain's Glamour Weave by Dale Fiesel. In this bard turned pirate creation, we really loved the creativity that Dungeons & Dragons brought to our theme of Into Another World. We are so excited to celebrate the second place win for craftsmanship, creativity, thinking outside of the box, and also just bringing such a fresh perspective to our competition as a whole. And finally, for first place in the Apprentice category, we have Enchanted Moss Fae by Holly Barton. This was such a lovely representation of our theme and also of the little details that can come together to make such a beautiful piece. The beading was all hand done, as well as I know there was some explorations of bleach to get this really beautiful coloration of the piece, and we could not be happier to celebrate for this first place win. Thank you guys so much for being a part of the Foundations Revealed community and competition. We are so excited to celebrate with all of our winners this year and hope to see everyone next year again, as well as some new entrants. Thanks again, and signing off as our Shield Maiden.
Hello, my name is Anneliese, and I am one of the judges for this year's Foundations Revealed competition. It is my great pleasure and privilege to be able to announce the prize winners for the intermediate category. In third place, we have Eleanor Gardner Attire by Cara Marie. Cara ventures into Tolkien's Middle-earth, drawing inspiration from historical dress to envision the evolution of Hobbit fashion. Cara said, "This project is a celebration of the first world I ever got lost in as a child, and the one I still return to 20 years later. Tolkien's Middle-earth. Because this world is beloved by so many, I wanted to add a fresh take to my design. I thought about what the hobbits in the Shire look like to my own imagination 20 years after the events of the movie. I hand-knit the lace so no aspect would look like something you would purchase at a modern store. I wanted every aspect to look like something you could imagine a hobbit making, and I certainly felt like one throughout the process of what is now my most beloved outfit." Cara, we absolutely love the feast of techniques in your creation, from the hand sewing, smocking, to knitting and embroidery. Congratulations to you. In second place, we have My Lady of Autumn by Margaret Prophet. Margaret has created a wonderful 1830s inspired take on a pumpkin patch, transporting us straight back to the fall. Margaret said, "I wanted to create something that encapsulates that wonderful feeling I get when the air starts to get chilly and the trees turn into a beautiful, colorful mess. I wanted to create a character that looked as though she belonged in a pumpkin patch, perfectly at home nesting in a pile of red and yellow leaves. When I wear this dress, I truly feel as though I belong in another world." I constructed the bodice using a tablecloth, as well as flat lining of plain cotton. In the seams, I sewed brown piping to mimic the 1830s construction technique. I'm exceedingly proud of this year's entry. It required many hours of hard work, experimentation with new things, and compromises when my time started to run out. You are a vision of autumn, Margaret. We adore how you embodied the season as the prize-winning pumpkin of the patch. Congratulations. And in first place, we have What Lies Below by Hannah S. For this project, Hannah is taking us under the sea, experimenting with materials and embellishment in an incredible corset which evokes the ever-changing waters. Hannah said, "This garment invokes the fluidity and enchantment associated with water, and the darkness of vengeful spirits living just beneath the surface. The translucent corset melts at the body like a thin layer of water or the veil between our world and the Fae. The appliques and beadwork represent the shimmering surface of lakes, the swirls and eddies of river water across stones, and the arms of cephalopods and water monsters. Pearls, beads, and iridescent sequins show the ever-changing hues of living water, the promise of treasures to lure sailors into the deep, the slick sheen of an oil spill, and the glimmer of Fae magic. I used exclusively clear/translucent materials to make the corset, so the appliques would float, and I chose to avoid gores and gussets to minimize visible seams. Sometimes creativity is easier with limitations, so working with a theme really helped break through the too many ideas block I've had for the last year. Hannah, you certainly blew us out of the water as the expression goes, and enchanted us with your talents. Many congratulations. And congratulations again to all of our intermediate prize winners on the incredible work this year. To view and be inspired by all of the amazing intermediate category entries, be sure to visit the links below.
Hello, my name is Brooklynne Michelle. I'm one of the mentors at Foundations Revealed and also one of the proud judges of this year's competition, Into Another World. I am thrilled to be presenting the prize winners for the experienced category. In this category, these entrants have shown that they have considerable skills and knowledge that they are continually honing, refining, and further developing. They are willing to be ambitious with more challenging fabrics and techniques, and maybe branching out to a specific area of study such as tailoring, fabric manipulation, or embellishment. Each and every entry in this year's competition was absolutely amazing, but some stood out more than others, and those are this year's winners. Starting off in third place, we have The Spring Gown by Laura Kalnaja. Laura's entry is an entirely hand-stitched 1770s robe a la Francaise, created with a character from their own novel in mind, allowing Laura to escape into a world all their own. They said, "When I started researching the period, I realized that I cannot fully understand the setting or the character without understanding the gowns. And what better way to understand a piece of clothing than to make it? When trying to bring that fantasy to life, the aim was to be inspired by extant garments and to hand sew it using historically accurate methods. This was my first fully hand-sewn outfit. I had to pick up new techniques such as whip stitch, flat felt seams, hemming, and making eyelets by hand, and various embroidery stitches. These were all pleasantly straightforward, and I've grown to love them. I struggled to find fabric I liked, so I hand embroidered small flowers as well as vines on the sleeves and stomacher. Laura's gown is an absolutely stunning piece, and they should be very proud. I loved the little hand stitch details, and your stays are so beautifully stitched." In second place, we have Halloween by Michelle Bignol Blasco. Michelle's beautifully structured gown is an opulent homage to the classic vampiric fiction. They said, designing with a nod to the magical worlds of fantasy, Halloween's gown transcends time, drawing inspiration from the pages of timeless novels. It is a testament to the entrancing allure of vampiric legends, bringing to life the eternal dance between elegance and the shadows that define fantastical realms of Obsidiana. I adorned the corset and the skirt with embroidered pieces and over 100 handmade roses. This project not only tested my design and sewing skills, but also allowed me to infuse my personal touch into every detail, resulting in a timeless creation that embodies my brand's aesthetic. It is an absolutely stunning gown that would befit any vampire queen or king or royalty of other known gender out there. I loved the lush texture of it. It reminded me very much of something that Vanessa Ives would wear. And finally, in first place, we have Childhood Dreams by Sarah Jo Martins. For this year's competition, Sarah Jo is stepping into a storybook to create the quintessential fairy tale gown of childhood imaginings. They said, "The design basis was envisioning all the fairy tales and princess stories I'd grown up with. I wanted to take this opportunity to let the unbridled world of child wonder guide the design, to add layers and beads and embroidery and pearls and fur and whatever was shiny and lovely. I found a few old drawings of mine from that time, as well as favorite storybooks to guide me towards a blend of medieval Italian Renaissance styles for a gown as dramatic as the stories I was captivated by. I went wild with machine embroidery, a new skill I'm learning, by adding a monogram to the velvet wrist gauntlets and interior of the fur trim hanging down the side back of the gown. I love having this space to challenge myself and see what other makers are creating. In participating, I not only challenge myself to develop new skills with the entry, but to gain connections and a new arsenal of knowledge from the other makers." And it truly is a fantasy gown from any childhood dream. I love anything beautifully blue, and you did a great job in that. And the lush textures and shape is well deserving of this first prize. Again, thank you to everyone who entered this year. You should all be very proud, whether you were a prize winner, a finalist, or just an entrant. Everyone's pieces this year were outstanding, and I hope to see you all next year in our competition here at Foundations Revealed.
Hello, my name is Alycia of Amaya Couture, and I am one of the judges for this year's competition. I'm thrilled to announce the winners of the advanced category. Starting off in third place, we have Goddess of the Harvest by Alexandra Briscoe. Inspired by a vengeful goddess and the escape stories can provide us, Alexandra has designed a garment at first glance might appear fluid, but in reality is a complex structure. They said the dress was made over a structured and boned bodysuit, made to support the weight of the dress and the garland over it, with a reinforced upper and nearly invisible nude mesh pants, which have been gradient dyed to look like the mist of the magical dress appearing at her feet. I wanted the design to have the look of impossibility and defying gravity, so the rest of the purple silk chiffon has been draped atop this in folds to replicate the look of fabric which doesn't follow human rules. The 2 garlands at the shoulder and hip contain over 250 handmade berries, hand-braided vines, and fruits, all dyed and embellished by hand. The biggest challenge of this costume was to create the feeling of otherworldly and the inhuman. I wanted this costume to look like it wasn't a dress the character was wearing, but a part of her, natural and changing. The craftsmanship of this piece is so apparent in all of the beautiful little details that help make this piece look so effortless. Well done. In second place, we have Queen of Autumn by Charlie Grille. For this entry, Charlie created a richly textured 17th century design to portray a powerful fake queen. They said, I made my own interpretation of a fall queen, crowned by her own golden horns. I was very inspired by the aesthetics of the outfits described by Holly Black, the rich colours and textures, the various fantasy and historical inspirations. I imagined 18th century covered stays with very big Louis XIII lambrequin sleeves combined to create a very impressive silhouette. The green of the inside of the sleeves are the summer slowly falling asleep under the rich colours of autumn. FR Contest is for me the occasion to work on new techniques. I wanted to create my own technique of art drafting for a while, more simple and intuitive. This competition helped me to create, develop and elaborate techniques, to challenge and improve myself. It gives me a reason, a context and a motivation to create something for me, exactly like I want it. I can deep dive in my aesthetics, my imagination. It's so satisfying and empowering. Congratulations, Charlie, on this gorgeous creation. The rich velvet and autumnal palette evokes such a warm yet powerful image. And in first place, we have Golden Night by Alycia Figueres. Alycia has mixed elements of classical feminine dress with luminous armour to create a beautiful piece fit for a warrior queen. They said, I was inspired by the theme of Into Another World by interpreting it as high fantasy with knights in shining armour. I've always enjoyed the idea of women warriors who ride into battle in armour. As with many high fantasy stories, I wanted to play with the anachronism in silhouette, with nods to medievalism in the armour, and even to late Victorian and Edwardian fancy dress interpretations of medievalism. My goal was to create golden armour in the style of 14th century light cavalry armour using corsetry and tailoring techniques. The armour has a base of coutil with horizontal and vertical boning channels inside, reminiscent of an Edwardian bust extender. I think it's always worth a shot entering your work if you're on the fence about it. Working towards a goal and a finish line may help motivate you to finish what you've already started, like it did for me. Congratulations, Alycia. This piece is breathtaking in its juxtaposition and blending of hard and soft elements. The armour almost looks like gilded metal itself. Well done. And congratulations again to all our advanced winners and runners-up on your incredible garments. You have all worked so hard and it really shows. You can see all of the entries in more detail in the link below.
And with that, the Foundations Revealed competition for 2024 comes to an end. But that's not all we're announcing today. We are so thrilled to be revealing the theme for the 2025 competition today. So prepare to let your creativity soar in next year's Foundations Revealed competition with the theme Flight. We invite you to explore and interpret this wonderful concept in all its forms, from the delicate wings of a butterfly to the robust gears of a fantastical airship. Whether your inspiration takes flight from the mythological Icarus, Quetzalcoatl, the Valkyries, the pioneering aviators of the early 20th century, or the futuristic possibilities of traveling by jetpack, the sky is truly your limit. Consider channeling the majestic eagle with costumes that capture the beauty and might of a bird in flight, or craft something ethereal with garments that echo the gods and goddesses of the sky. Why not experiment with the aesthetics of early hot air balloon flight, or vintage pilot gear from the 1920s complete with leather and goggles, or craft an outfit inspired by the innovative concepts of space travel. This competition isn't just about creating a costume. It's about embodying the spirit of adventure and innovation that flight represents. Use fabrics that flow and structures that defy the ordinary. Your design could be a literal interpretation or an abstract representation, encouraging you to think outside the box. We've just got one request. Let's steer clear of any real-world military references. Apart from that, let your creativity ascend to new heights, and perhaps in crafting your vision of flight, you'll find yourself transported not just in body, but in spirit. Join us and let's make next year's event a breathtaking spectacle of airborne wonders. Now that you know the theme, we'll be releasing the full 2025 entrance pack and material soon. But now it's over to you. Time to get thinking about your entry for next year. Once the entrance pack is available, you'll need to download it and read it just to make sure that you've got everything you need to submit your entry. The competition will be open to everyone in the sewing community. You'll be able to enter in one of the 6 skill categories: beginner, apprentice, intermediate, experienced, artisan, and showcase. The showcase category is unique in that it isn't included in the judging of the competition. It's simply for members of the community who wish to show off their fabulous work. Like this year, the entries will be judged by a mix of community voting and panel scoring. The judging panel will be selected based on their technical competence in sewing. The panel will include representation of ethnicity, culture, gender, identity, and disability. After the deadline for the submissions, the panel will go to work scouring each entry on design, pattern cutting, stitching quality and finish, and fit on a live model. Don't worry if that sounds intimidating. These criteria will all be judged taking into account the skill level that your entry is in. Voting will be open to everyone with a free Essentials or Academy membership of Foundations Revealed to award prizes for first, second, and third placing entrants in each skill category. We'll be announcing some exciting prizes for next year's winners soon. We can't wait to see where this theme takes you in 2025, and we look forward to joining you all in your creative journeys for another year. So good luck among the skies.